What's up? This is Yousif. I'm an indie artist from Seattle, Washington, living and making music in Kuwait. And today I just wanted to show you a little behind the scenes. Today I'm wiring up the studio, pretty excited about it. And I just wanted to show you some tips and tricks, a few little things that might help you with your home setup. We got a hybrid analog digital mix today. I'm just gonna be walking you through some of the basic setups of the signal chain flows and how things are put together. I won't go too deep into the technicals, so let's get right to it. So the first thing we got here is some SSL channel strips. We have two kind of combo that has some EQ on it, and it's for mic preamplifiers. So you could put a micro instrument in this, and I got two of those. These are also mic preamps, but they're in the back. And obviously, as you can see, it doesn't include the channel strips, but you get 4 in one strip. This is the SSL's X Logic series. And yeah, these are really great. I use them for preamps, for all kind of things, from vocal to guitar, bass, everything. Everything's routed into this Aurora 8 links mastering converter, and I got it set to 44.1, which is CD quality. I don't think you need a full HD 96. It just makes the files bigger, I found. And hard drive space costs money. And so then this is kind of the central hub for the computer. This is a dusty, huh? This is the central hub for the computer, going in and out of the computer. So that's what that is. And then that's outputting all the way to this bad boy, the Mackie Onyx 1640i Firewire. This is such an old mixer. It uses Firewire, but I love it because it has so much flexibility with the outputs. So what's happening is the back over there, the inputs are going directly into the computer through the links, but the outputs from the links are coming over here, right here into the back. So this is basically like a big soundboard, but you're basically getting your outputs from the digital ADDA, the ADA. So I'm using this kind of as a monitor section, basically. And you can also use it for inputs, but I'm not really using the preamps and all that. It's all kind of for show. It's just basically monitoring. I have, 8 channels coming from the ADDA over to here, just so that this then goes out to the speakers. You can see that's why I love it. So you have 4 cables here going to each speaker, and then I have another cable. Well, it's not plugged in, but it will go to that little speaker in the middle. I like to have these Genelecs for a wide effect, and they sound real sweet. And then I got to switch to the Yamahas sometimes when I'm mixing and mastering, because that just gives me a different sound and vibe and opens up some of the mid range a little more clearly than if you always listen to like the sweet Genelecs. Then you start to think everything that you mix sounds good, and that's not the case. And then I like the one in the middle just because it's kind of like a little crappy little, trying to like emulate what it would sound like in your car or on your phone or boombox, and that is more relevant than ever these days. So that is kind of the analog signal flow, and I've got that pretty much going. As you can see, the computer is still getting wired up, and this is the digital side. So that's the cool part. Of course, we have a webcam necessary these days. This, I need to change some of these stickers. They got a little damaged in the move, but what's great about this is I use this to mix. So it's all contained in the box, and basically this interface syncs with Pro Tools, and there's other ones like this. I'm just using the Avid Artist Mix, and I have other videos on the channel if you want to check those out that detail each of these pieces, I think. And this is the Softube Console 1, and together these are like the perfect digital kind of workflow, because this lets you touch faders when you're mixing. You don't have to mix with your mouse and keyboard, right? You still got it, but I really prefer to like push levels when I'm working on music. And this lets you do all your EQ and compression and gain, input output gains, and even has gate on it and some sweeteners. What is that? Drive. I like to use a drive and character there, kind of like distortion, whatever. It's beautiful. And the perfect thing is that the computer remembers every move you make, unlike if you were to do that kind of mixing on this analog console over here. You would have to kind of take a picture of it, or you'd have to set it up. It's the same every time, and these EQs aren't the best, and You know, you could get a big, nice mixer with SSLs like this if you had $35,000, but then you still wouldn't have recall. Well, maybe some of them have recall nowadays, but they'll cost you a lot of money, and these are perfect for what I need. You just do all the mixing in the box, and yeah, of course, the requisite screen. And here's a note about the screen. I did a lot of research. I try to put the screen behind the speaker boundaries. You don't want the screen up, because then the sound will reflect off the screen and distort, right? If you notice where the chair is supposed to be, right, this is the mixing position. It seems like a small detail, but it's important. I try to make an equilateral triangle out of this speaker to one ear, this speaker to the other ear, and kind of an equal distance between the speakers. Now, you can't do it exactly because you have two sets of speakers, but you know, again, you can see it's kind of making a little, I probably got to turn this one in a little this way, but trying to make a little triangle to myself. Okay, this one is mono, so it's not as important. I put it right in the center, obvious. So you don't want, you know, it looks like I have a lot in front of it, but this actually, this is pretty cool. I can't do it with one hand, but you basically unscrew that and it kind of can tuck away. And if you notice, I don't have much equipment in between the speakers and my ears. It's kind of, I don't want any sound waves bouncing or reflecting off screens or gear, and even the desk, if you notice, I kind of have no sides in it. I kind of try to make the furniture, I built this furniture, try to make all the stands as kind of hollow as possible, not cabinets, so that you have the minimum reflections and you have carpeting here. So, you know, I'm trying to get that sound as sweet and as accurate as possible to the mix position here. And of course, all the treatment, you know, have all these panels all around, and that's the main thing too, to kill some of the reverbs and delays and solve some of the problems in the room. And I'm using a real big room too. I think it's about 6 meters by 4 meters. That's like 20 feet by 13, 14 feet. So yeah. So I found a problem with my mixer. You see it's only coming out the right, even though it's a mono signal. If I mess with this, then it'll start working. Check, see? But then even then, see, the meter is a little stronger in the right, and I've been duplicating it. So I'm going to use this Soundcraft that I got instead. Too bad I did all that, but it should be easy to swap them out. As you can see, it was not my signal chain, it was my mixer that's unfortunately needs to be serviced. So it's like 15 years old almost, by now 13 years old. So yeah, pretty sweet though. Got this nice Soundcraft. So I'm gonna get back to it, gonna go wire up the computer now. If you like content like this, please leave a comment below. What does your setup look like? What do you think about this setup? Kind of a hybrid analog digital mix that I've got. I like to have the analog signal coming in real sweet, as good as possible, and then I like have total control over the digitals with the workflow, so it's like nice and smooth and compact, and the box is easy. It's nice having this big studio, man. I was in this smaller space before. It was like maybe half the size of this, and it was hard getting behind the speakers and the gear, and you know, you improvise, you know. When you're limited in space, like what I have a couple Tony Robbins quotes for you. Necessity is the mother of invention. So when you've got a small space and it's necessary to compact it, you get real creative, and that's what I did. It's nice to be able to spread out and get behind the speakers fully and everything. It's real sweet. And the other Tony Robbins quote I got for you today is, complexity is the enemy of execution. And that's why I'm trying to keep this real simple. I know it looks a little complicated, but this is a lot simpler than some of the setups I've had in the past. And the simpler you can make your workflow, the easier it is to just turn everything on with 1 or 2 switches, 1 or 2 clicks. I didn't mention, but I have all the speakers on one switch. So when I want to put the speakers on, just turn it on and boom, ready to go. You know, make it as simple as possible in your workflow, in your studio, and in your life, and you will get more done. You will get the most done. And that is what we all want, right? We all want to just keep making music, keep putting that stuff out, keep putting out the good vibes. So let me know what you think about it in the comments, and hope to see you back again real soon.